Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on this video. As you know from the title, we're going to be looking at some arguments and some evidence for the existence of God. Obviously, we cannot prove everything to a 100% degree, just as I cannot prove to you that you're not having a dream. I can't prove to you that I'm not being controlled by aliens from outer space. We can't prove everything 100%. So today we're going to be looking at 6 or 7 arguments. As you know, guys, I am not a philosopher. I'm not a theologian, anything like that. So, I'm just bringing these arguments to light. I'm not going super in detail. That is for your own research. That is for your own time to kind of learn. So we're bringing these arguments to light. We're kind of showing you what they mean. I'm obviously not declaring these arguments or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys these arguments. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a fun time. And if you guys don't know, feel free to join the Minecraft server. Obviously all this is happening on the ChristianMC Minecraft server. So come on, join by. It's survival. Stop by, build, stuff like that. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first one we begin looking at is personal experience. The name basically says it all. It's where you have an individual experience with God. If that's, changing one's life after accepting Jesus, or feeling the presence of God during worship or whatever. And of course, miracles and wonders, healings and stuff like that could only have taken place if there is a God. It's a very personal experience that really only the person can understand. If it be through healing, if it be through different miracles, if that be through prayers being answered and stuff like that. So let's hop right into the second one. So the second one is cosmological argument. It states that all things have a beginning, so therefore there must be a cause. The universe has a beginning, so therefore there needs to be a cause. There needs to be something that is not finite, someone who is infinite outside of time and space to be able to cause the universe and to cause everything else. And that someone is God. So let's say I had a cow, and I have that cow because obviously 2 other cows had a baby. And if you look back, those 2 cows had parents, and those parents had parents, so on and so forth. And then you get to the beginning of it. It's like, where'd those first 2 cows come from? There needs to be a cause. Because they're finite. Cows are finite. Everything else is finite. They have a beginning and they have an end. There needs to be an ultimate cause who is infinite, and that is God. There needs to be a causer. There needs to be someone who starts it. Alright, so the third one, the teleological argument. It pretty much states that because of order, design, and purpose of nature, in the world, in the cosmos, it shows and points that there needs to be a designer. Just as if you were to look at your house, that it didn't just magically appear there. There needed to be builders who built the house, as well as if you were to look at like a cell in a living body or an animal or whatever it may be. It shows that there is order and design to that cell, that there is a purpose, that has all these components which make up this cell, and they all have a purpose. They are all needed, and that all points to a designer. And who else would that designer be but God? So next up is the moral code or moral argument. It states that there is a moral code, not something that we defined, but something that was given to us. We all have it, and we all determine that there's good and bad in this world. Every time, we argue between what's good and bad, what's right or what's wrong, we show that there is some kind of moral law, some kind of law that was given to us by a higher power. So let me ask you this, is killing somebody good or bad? Is it good or bad? I would hope that you guys say killing is bad. And that right there shows that that you agree with a higher power, who gave us a moral law. Because everyone has this. We all know that killing is bad. And this moral law is beyond the universe. It's a universal law that we all have, every single one of us. So that if there was no God, then there would be no objective. We wouldn't know what's right or what's wrong. Nothing would matter. There would be no hope, and we would all just be a combination of molecules that had no purpose in this life. That's pretty much what it would be like if we had no moral law, had no right or what's wrong. If I punched you in the face, well, it wouldn't matter, because, there's not this mediator to define what's good or what's bad, what's right or what's wrong. All right, next up is the consciousness argument. Consciousness, as we know, is something that we can't explain. Like, you can't really explain consciousness. It's outside of our natural world. It's something far more complex. Some people can say it's from our brain or from our mind. But, if you take a look at our brain, it's a complex system made up of atoms, and molecules. And as we know, atoms and molecules are not conscious. They don't have their own thoughts and experiences. So, then there's the question. So where do we get the consciousness from? And obviously we get it from God. That's what I would say. We do get it from God. It's something that is out of this world. It's something that we can't just explain. In our consciousness, we have different experiences. Like, can you explain to me what grass smells like? You really can't. It's from our own experiences. It's from our own consciousness. But what grass smells like. That there is a certain smell that grass has. But you can't really explain it. It's something in our mind, in our consciousness, from our experiences, from, the things that we know. And from my perspective, like, grass could be yellow. You would never know. That the Minecraft grass right behind me could be yellow. But to you guys, it might be green. Who knows? It could be a certain different color. You don't know what's in my consciousness, what I perceive the world as. Because the consciousness is not something that you can explain. It's outside of this natural world. It shows that there needs to be a complex designer that is not from the natural finite world. Okay, I'm gonna absolutely botch this one because I'm not good at math. But if we look at the mathematical argument, hear me out. So math holds truth, as we know. 1 + 1 = 2. That is true. And math also has infinity. In our finite world and in our finite mind, we can never grasp or take hold of infinity. It is something that is not of this world. And we know we can't create math. It's always discovered. We always discover math. We can never create math. And it always has been here. For example, planetary motion. Let's take a look at planetary motion. It's always been going on. It didn't just start when Kepler founded his 3 laws. There's always been, planets in motion. There's always been planetary motion. Same with pi. It's always been there. It always used to be, 3.14, whatever it goes on to. It's always been there, but we had to discover it. So then who created math? Who set all the laws and theories into motion? Before they were ever discovered as laws and theories, who put them there? Who set them in place? That points to an intelligent mind who is all true, all powerful, all knowing, and completely eternal. Again, I just barely touched the surface on this. Please go do your own research. Look at others who can explain this much better than I just did. Please. I'm really just here to let these arguments come to light. So let's head on to the next one. All right, so the transcendental argument. Pretty much it's all about, so let's say if we assume that truth exists, along with logic, morals, and science, if we assume that all of these exist and that they are in this world, we need to assume that there's a higher power on which these ideas and laws can stand on. Because without a higher power, they cannot stand. Because there needs to be a higher mind to be able to create and set these laws into motion. You know what I'm saying? For example, the laws of logic. They are not made up of matter. We can't feel them, we can't touch them, we can't see them. But they're there. They're not in this physical world, but they are universal and present at all times. There shows that there needs to be a higher power for these laws to stand on. Because without God, there is no order or design at all. It all falls apart. That's pretty much what the argument states. Again, I'm going to say a million times, look into these yourself. I'm just bringing these to light. Do research. All right, to conclude on everything right here, obviously we just discussed like 7, I think. But there's so many more than that. Do your own research. Look it up. Get interest. Like, if you're interested in this, do your own research. Dive into it, please. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a theologian, anything like that. I could have described those horribly. I wasn't trying to give the argument to you. but I was just making them come to light. And, I hope that you will do some more research onto them, think about it some more. Because I believe, as a Christian, someone who believes in God, who believes in the Christian God, that there is evidence that we can see these puzzle pieces. Obviously we can't get the whole picture, but God is giving us these glimpses, these puzzle pieces through Scripture, through the arguments and evidence that we just talked about, and stuff like that, that we get this little piece, these puzzles that point to a higher being, a higher, someone who designed this world. I hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed. The best way to support is to play on the server. Just want to let you guys know that. I have the IP right on the screen right now. Please, if you want, join the server, play, build some stuff, have fun. Thank you truly for watching to the end. Thank you for staying here and watching me rant on about this. I hope this made some sort of sense, that you could understand it, and I hope you guys got something from it. Yeah. God bless you guys. Have a great night.